Hey, what's going on, good people? You're now watching a new episode of Locker Room Sports, and I'm your host, Quentin Bienemy. Today, we're going to start off with a little bit of good news for football fans in New Orleans. The Saints are back in the playoffs. Yes, you heard me right. Your New Orleans Saints are back in the NFL playoffs. In addition to making the postseason tournament for the first time since 2013, the Saints enter the playoffs as NFC South Division champions with an 11-5 record. A large part of their success this season comes from the boom and zoom running attack of Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara. Kamara and Ingram are the first running back tandem to surpass 1,300 scrimmage yards, both in the same season, along with scoring over 10 touchdowns apiece. In addition to those two, you have quarterback Drew Brees, who's the first ballot Hall of Famer. He finished another spectacular season with over 4,000 passing yards, along with 23 touchdowns and only 8 interceptions. One of Brees' main targets was Michael Thomas. He finished his season with 104 catches for 1,245 yards and 5 touchdowns. With numbers like those, it's easy to see why the Saints finished in the top 5 in every major NFL offensive category, including second in total offense, averaging 391 yards a game, and third in scoring offense, averaging 28.3 points a game. Yeah, that's a petty shot, but that's actual facts. On the defensive side of the ball, you have Cam Jordan. He finished his 7th season with 62 tackles and 13 sacks, and on the corner, you have rookie Marcell Bennett, who won Defensive Rookie of the Month multiple times this season. He and Alvin Kamara seem to be shoo-ins for Offensive and Defensive Rookie of the Year awards, respectively. If they win the awards, it'll be the first time in NFL history that 2 teammates won the awards in the same year. Despite all the success, the road doesn't get any easier from here. In the wild card round, the Saints have to face a familiar foe, the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers finished second in the NFC South, also with an 11-5 record, but they lost the division title because they lost to the Saints twice this season. In spite of that, the Panthers finished with one of the best defenses in the NFL. They finished 7th, only allowing 316 yards per game. And on offense, they have, former MVP quarterback Cam Newton, who's only 2 years removed from the award. So, as all Saints fans know, he can be really dangerous, and he can pretty much break the game open at any moment. He's also said that he will not lose to the New Orleans Saints 3 times in the same season, but that remains to be seen. The game is scheduled for 3:40 p.m. on Sunday afternoon, so I'll definitely be tuned in, and I know the rest of the Who Dat Nation will be tuned in as well. Elsewhere in the NFL, we have 3 more playoff games this weekend. On Saturday, things get kicked off when the Kansas City Chiefs host the Tennessee Titans. Saturday night, the Atlanta Falcons will travel to Los Angeles to take on the Rams. This will be Los Angeles' first playoff game since the early 90s, so everybody on the West Coast is really excited about that. On Sunday, you have the Buffalo Bills, who are making their first playoff appearance since 1999. They'll travel to South Florida to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars and rookie phenom Leonard Fournette, a St. Aug High School alumnus. So those are the other 3 games that are taking place this weekend, in addition to the Saints and the Panthers. Okay, with the end of the NFL regular season, y'all know Black Monday, quickly follows, and this year was no different. You had the Indianapolis Colts, they fired Chuck Pagano. The Detroit Lions fired Jim Caldwell. The Oakland Raiders, they fired Jack Del Rio. And Cardinals coach Bruce Arenas, he decided to retire. In somewhat of a shocking move, the Cincinnati Bengals decided to retain Marvin Lewis. Not only retain him, they signed him to a contract extension. And a lot of people found that kind of surprising because he's been the coach for 15 years, but in that entire time, they have never won a playoff game. And by and large, he's looked at as a person that squandered all their playoff opportunities and not coaching up the talent that they have up to their maximum potential. You know, they have right now, they have players like AJ Green, they have Andy Dalton, they have Vontaze Burfict. You know, no matter what you say about him as a player, as a dirty player or not, he's still an effective player. They have Pac-Man Jones, and they just have playmakers all over the field. But in his 15 years, you know, even before these guys, they had Chad Ochocinco, Chad Johnson, they had Carson Palmer, they had some really good running backs, and they've never been able to win a playoff game. So a lot of people are wondering why he's getting opportunity after opportunity. So, you know, we'll see how it goes. The Cincinnati Bengals, they signed him to a 2-year contract extension. So I'm assuming if they don't win a playoff game next year or make it to the playoffs, they may fire him. But, you know, I've seen stranger things happen. Stay tuned to Locker Room Sports for more developments.